start shortly. Today is the last session of this mini bootcamp, and we will be doing one project based on the knowledge we have covered so far during the last 2 weeks. Basically, they are essentials of HTML and then the main concepts of CSS. Any questions so far? So hope you will enjoy this 3 weeks mini bootcamp, and would be a great asset for your future knowledge. And of course, once you invest more on your own by going a little more deeper and adding more extra software tool stacks like JavaScript and DOM manipulation, of course, frameworks, maybe at least one of the frameworks like React or Angular, definitely would gonna be a great asset for the next career path. Let me share my screen and then get started. You guys see my screen? So today, I prefer going with the code editor, which is Visual Studio Code. If you guys want to just, let's say, download and work later on with that kind of code editors, you can, you can just download here VS Code, let's say download, okay? So this way, what you can do is work using this IDE on your own local computer rather than going the browser or rather than opening every time with the notepad. Okay, so it works for both Mac and then Windows and all the other available operating systems. So once you download, it looks something like this. So let me open the folder that we will be working. This is the folder that we created earlier. Let me create a brand new. So let's say session 3, and then I'll jump into that directory. So code, and then that just launches me that VS Code because I have already installed that one on my local machine. So now look at this as session 3, and then I can easily create files, even folders. Okay, so for example, one project can be under one new folder, and then that folder may contain a bunch of files. So since this is gonna be one single project, we can create our main HTML file. So this extension is really important because this page is gonna be based on the HTML rules. So if it's gonna be based on the JavaScript rules, then JS. Okay, if it's gonna be based on the CSS rules, then CSS. If it's Py, then Python. Okay, I mean Python. If it's Python, so Py. Now we will go with the HTML and start our very first project that covers all the concepts. Okay, any questions? Cool. And if you have, just you can interrupt me, guys. No worries. You can just raise your hand and then maybe unmute yourself and go ahead with your question. So here, VS Code is a really good and then really feasible tool nowadays out there. Almost any, all of the the companies, at least the vast majority of the companies developers exploit this one during their project development. And most of the time I feel confident with this one, and then the same feels other developers from my network, I would say. So you see, guys, you can create the bunch of folders, files inside, and then you can push over here to remote cloud repositories like GitHub, AWS, and so on. So for example, it has many built-in libraries, so we can directly go with this, let's say, to initiate your HTML file, right? So just click here, HTML, okay, it builds you that particular element. Or for example, the structure of the HTML, okay, you go with the exclamation mark, it gives you that structure, okay? And then you just need to go inside this body and then start coding your design. Implementing your design, okay? So what I would like to do is today, so let me draw here a very simple schema and then go based on that design. For example, I want to do over here, so let me clear and then draw. So here we will have the, sorry, not this one. We'll have some home headline and then about us titles, okay, homepage and then titles. So let's say homepage and then contacts or about us, and then we will have one image over here. So we will build a biography page, okay, and then here I will include some text about this particular biography and then another paragraph for here. So this will include a bunch of CSS rules, all of those, the classes, IDs, selectors, and so on. And what else we can include? Let's say we can put here some skill sets here, and then even here one more, and then even here one more. Okay, some skill sets, and then another footer kind of paragraph down below here. Okay, so explaining other kind of let's say text definitions and so on. And what else we can do? Yeah, we will improve once we start doing this one. So homepage, contacts, and then let's say image, and then biography, and so on. Okay, so this is what I'm planning to show you during this session. So let's get started then. So what I would like to do is, so I want to wrap everything inside one container. Okay, let's say this is going to be our container. And so this page is also, in fact, a big container, but inside that main page, I want to create my own custom container. So I will be able to move left, move right with the whole contents inside that container. Okay, so here, what I would like to do is, let me share double screen if possible. Okay, so this one. Actually, this is okay. Yeah, here's gonna be our output, and then this is design. Okay, so I'll be showing both screens. Can you guys see my VS Code and then the browser, two of them at the same time?
Yes, we can.
Got it. So, for example, what we would like to container, how to create container, right? In actually containers, so can be created using divs, regular divs. For example, just let's say how to initialize, okay, initialize div if you or container or a kind of box in HTML. You can go and then look at and Google it anytime whenever you want to, like when you are stuck. Okay, there are a bunch of answers from Stack Overflow and so on. So this Stack Overflow just maybe short notice. Most of you, if you are from IT background, you can find the answers for almost every single question out there. Like as long as the question is meaningful and logical, this Stack Overflow is a great platform where you can share your knowledge, you can read knowledge, those are already shared, and then answer for the questions time by time, posted from all over the world and so on. So the Stack Overflow is a great, actually, very valuable, I would say, fortune. Okay, so because many developers can find answers over here. So how to initialize div, you can look at this way, or in other words, HTML, let's say, let me go over here. Let's say HTML container. Okay, if you want to look for a certain. But I would like to show here how can we create it just by going div. Okay, you see just this automatically created me div. Otherwise, I should have written here just this way, div, and then close this div like this, and so on. Start with all of those initializations one by one. So rather than, I just go with my VS Code and then write here div, and then create here my container. So this is gonna be my container, and let's say it takes two UL. Okay, I mean in UL here, the homepage, and then this is, let's say, contact us. Okay, if you remember, what was the UL?
Unordered list.
Exactly, that is unordered. Okay, we will go once we initialize the UL. What should we write over here? Is it P
Should
or A?
be LI.
That should be LI, right?
Yes.
Exactly, yeah. Not P, not A. Once we initialize the UL, okay, we have to start with the list because this is unordered list already. I can say here home page and then one more LI. So let's say contacts. Okay, save, and then you can just go over here, open with live server, and let me see how it looks like. Yeah, homepage and contacts. Okay, so I want to keep this page like a little bit smaller than the main page, like in the middle. Okay, in the middle. If you just maximize your page, it goes all the way to the left top corner. But I want to keep in the middle, since this is a high resolution and large scale monitor. No need to go to the left page. For example, if you go and then look at other websites like let me say, what could it be? Let me check ESPN, for example, if it how it looks like. Yeah, you see there and there somehow in the middle, not from all the way to the left stretched or the right stretched. Okay, at least this nav bar is okay, is full stretched, but look at this, the left and then right is just not occupying any place, and things are in the middle. It becomes when your when your screen becomes bigger and bigger. So that's why I want to do the same approach for my particular project. So here I would like to give class. So let's say main, or let's say container. So the names also be given such that it should contain really good meaning. Okay, so if you just put here just let's say box in the so later on there could be another box, there could be another. What is the meaning of this box? If it's, let's say, main container, okay, then someone when reads your code says that, oh, okay, this is someone who wraps everything. Okay, so container, so let's say main container, and then since this is a class name, where I can go and then apply my CSS rules, guys. In how many ways we can apply CSS rules?
3 ways.
Can you list them?
Internal, inline, and external.
Yeah, but if I want to go with the internal, where should I start my CSS rules?
In the head, style element.
Somewhere over here, right? So style element. And then here I would select my main container. Select and then start writing, right? Let's say background color. Let's say kind of aqua. Is this the right way of writing my selector, guys, here?
For
No,
the class, you'll have to put a dot main container.
Exactly. I have to put dot. If I have ID, let's say ID, the name is wrapper, right? And then I'll go here. If I want to select this particular div, so I would go with the, for example, I can go with in how many different ways if I want to select this entire block. In how many different ways I can select?
you can use star.
I can use what?
The star, you say something else for the name bar.
No, for this, yeah, star is for and
ID.
star.
ID.
Yeah, look at this. Star is for entire elements in your page, but for this particular, only for this one. Let's say
So
you
for
have
this,
other.
we can use class, we can use ID, and we can use maybe div.
Yeah.
If there is
Nah,
only one div.
yeah. Let's say that now we have
Main
only one
text, I
div.
think, yes.
Yeah, now we have only one div, so we can select this div in 3 different ways. Either we can just select here div, right, and then give background color. I can grab this one. So let's say save, and then this one, and then another option is ID. Okay, so ID should be followed with the pound sign, right, like this, and then same way I can give the background color. So look at this. Which one is applying now background color? Is it the class, div, or ID?
ID.
Start with ID.
Okay, if I put over here, a little bit upper, still ID or div now?
ID.
The reason?
It has maximum priority.
Yeah, higher priority than any other listed above, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
higher priority, right?
Exactly. Yeah, thank you. So now, even though we selected div and then applied background color with aqua and then main container, I mean the class, still the background color aqua. Okay, they don't make any sense, even though if you go with the black and then if you go with the, let's say, different colors, they don't affect at all. We see only the ID is affected. Okay, this way we can select this entire div in 3 different ways. So just I want to erase this one and then erase this one. I want to go with the class at this point. So let's give here some kind of whitish color. Save. So this is how it looks like. And then I can also apply some width, right? So width, this is another property. So let's say it occupies only 80% of my screen. Now it becomes 80%. Okay, even though your screen is big, large, or small, it always occupies 80%. Okay, even though it becomes smaller, smaller, every time it becomes the 80% of your screen. Somehow it's kind of adaptive and responsive, right? Despite the fact that your screen becomes small or big, every time it occupies 80%, which is a nice approach. And now I want to put somewhere in the middle. So how can I push this to the right?
Margin
Centered.
auto.
What is that?
Margin auto.
Yeah, if I give here margin left, look at this, let's say 30 pixels. Okay, a little bit move to the right. And then let's say kind of still not enough. Well, how about 60? It looks enough, but maybe a little more, 80 pixels. Yeah, now looks fit. And it is really in the center. But look at this. How about if I extend my page? Looks like still way far from the center, right? Rather than going all the time with this approach, okay. Rather than going this the step-by-step approach, the putting auto here and the margin automatically adjusts on the horizontal line and then gives the equal size of margin from the left and then from the right. Correct? Now if even though your page is in maximum size and minimum size, your container is always in the middle, occupying only 80%. Look at this, occupying only 80% all the time in the middle. You see, like this website. Look at this; it's also in the middle all the time. So look at this. Its response. Where is? Oh, where is that? Look at this. And a little bit responding a little bit late, but all the time in the middle with the equal space from left and then from right. Even though it becomes smaller, again, it responds okay, from right, from left, equal size, and then everything is in the middle. That's what we say responsive, adaptive. Okay, cool. And let's remember that if you guys if you guys see over here, this is div, right? And div can be considered as a box model. What does that box model mean?
Basically, every HTML element is a box which contains of content, padding, border, and margin.
Exactly. Yeah. Look at this. So here, here we have div, whose background is, let's say, light teal. Okay, and then this is a box model. And if you go here, this box, see that is something in the middle. So I would go here. Where is that body? And then from body, this one. This is the div main container I'm looking for. The content. Look at the content. Is the full that highlighted shaded area, and then no padding at this point. Padding is the space between content and the border, right? The border is over here, and then there is no padding at this moment. And then, so no border, and then we have margin. So 64 from the left, 64 from the left. And who gave the 64? Not us, because this is already, auto. That's why the web browser decided this one such that, so this container is located in the right in the middle. If you just remove this margin, okay, it goes back to its on its own position. If I put it back, so this way you can also apply sometimes like custom custom margins. Makes sense? Cool. This is box model, and let's go back and continue. Here, I want to give the border for my container as well. So border, let's say 1 pixel, solid, let's say dark blue. Okay, and then maybe 2 pixels, save. And height, I want to give the end that it occupies the entire page. So height is definitely 100 VH. If you remember, VH is the full viewport of this available browser window. Okay, so now if I just type here 100, so my height is going to be full available space of this browser. Okay, yeah, this is the available space. That's why 100 VH is enough now. Cool. Next, what is next is the to play around with the home page. So let's give for this UL some class name. Okay, header we can say, and we can pick this header up and put here, and then give some, let's say, look at this. If I put here border now, 1 pixel, solid black. It shows me where my UL is. So I can give some padding, Okay, to move things a little bit inside, padding. So let's say 5 pixels. Now things are moved to the little bit inside from all over the places, but it even went to the left. So let's analyze why it is going to the left. So this is my div and then UL, and then see that this is content. Okay, padding somehow pushed things to the left, and then there is also a border, and then this 16 pixel margin. Where this margin is coming from? Who gave this margin? Can you guys imagine this one? The UL has margin from top and bottom, but we don't have anywhere else the margin from top or bottom given. Sorry? Any answers? Where does 16 pixels coming from? Any answers? So the moment you create, guys, UL, it has some default margins from top and bottom. So let's look at this. Why my UL has the default margin from top and bottom. Okay, let's see. Why? Where's my why? Why my UL has unordered lists were originally meant for content on the page, same as paragraph and the heading. They have default browser margins to apply logical white space in between blocks of text for easier reading. Then I can easily understand that the UL always initiated with default margins from top and then bottom. That's why it is showing me 16. Okay, I can remove that one. So if I put here margin 0, it goes right to the top and then just sticks over there. Okay, because I literally deleted that margin, and then we don't have any more margin if you want to remove that. Okay, otherwise you are still okay. Okay, so let's remove this padding at this point and give margin still. You can also remove that margin. Let's say that it gives us some space from top and then left, and looks like we are okay. Okay, and then I can remove this border from here, not to show, and then give color for my li. So let's say the color is white, and what is the what is the CSS property that applies the size or that changes the size of this text, guys? Do you remember?
Font size.
Font what?
Font size.
Font style or size?
Size. S-I-Z-E.
Okay, so let's say here 30 pixels. Yeah, 30 pixels. Now it became 30 pixels. Okay, 30 pixels, and then rather than white, I can put something a little cooler. How about this one? Yeah, this looks better. And 30 pixels is too much, looks like 20 pixels is enough. Okay, and how about if I want to make it clickable? So let's say whenever we are in different pages, but I want to click to home page to come back to home. How can I make this clickable?
Anchor tag.
Okay, where should I?
href.
Okay, yeah, I can put here anchor tag, right? A, and then take this home page into my anchor tags content like this way. Then it becomes clickable. You see, now it is refreshing my page again and again every time when I click. See, and the same for this guy, for the contacts, anchor tag, and I'll just take these contacts and put inside. That's it, and it also refreshes my page. Cool. And there are many selectors to work with. For example, if you want to remove these bullet points, so there is a property called list style type, just none. Okay, it removes that bullet points. And then to remove that underline from anchor tags, so we can select that A first, and then text decoration, none. Okay, that removes the underlines, but still they are clickable. Okay, when you come over here, it makes my cursor a pointer as a pointer. So, or when I hover over, they just show me it is kind of clickable. Cool. Homepage is ready. Let's go back to look at design and let's implement over here one image. I can break some images over here. So let's say, what can I put? Say Bill Gates. Okay, Bill Gates. And that's okay. So next is to put my image down here using my HTML image, right? And then SRC automatically it starts putting me, look at this, IMG and then SRC and just the link. That's it. Or let me show one more time. IMG and then the attribute for image is SRC, and then I can put here in meaningful information. So let's say that we don't have the source, and it gives me information even though the source is missing. So we said that what is the use case of alt is when the screen readers are, let's say, failing to find the image. Okay, when screen readers are failing find the image, it just it still reads me that alt text. I can put now this one. Cool. And since this is an image, I can just select that image and then give some width, like 100, let's say 60 pixels. Hopefully that's enough. Yeah, I think that's enough. And then we can apply some border to make it look cooler. Let's say 3 pixels. You can select dotted or dash it. Okay. So let's say solid white. That's it. And then how can we make it the corners around it? Do you remember that property of CSS? Rounded corners.
Border radius.
Border radius. And then we can put in, let's say 20 pixels. Perfect. Yep. And also, let's say, I want to move it to the into the middle. So let's try to apply here margin auto. How it works. Looks like the margin auto doesn't work the image. Okay, it doesn't work the image. So we can wrap it with the div, another div. So when we move this div into the middle, so it takes the image together. Okay, because some properties doesn't work for all elements. So in this particular case, the margin auto doesn't work for image. So, but for div, since this is a kind of container, since it can be box, it can be division, so it works. Margin auto works for div, and when we apply margin auto for div, it takes whatever it contains inside. Okay, so here let's put here class, and then image. Okay, or image container. Control save, and then come over here. So I have to first apply the same width with the image, okay, and then apply this margin auto down here. See, it's in the middle. Okay. If I don't put here the same width, what happens? Look at this border. Let's say 1 pixel solid black. Look at this. So div occupies always the entire screen. Since this div is inside my main container, by default, automatically, it occupies my entire width of that row. So here, div is created over here. It occupies my entire row from the beginning all the way to the right. Okay. So even though if I put here auto, there is no like meaning of trying to push this div into the middle because there is no space to put it into the middle, right? But the moment you write here some, width, and then just close this auto first, and it is over here. Now I can apply margin to move things to the right. At the same time, whatever inside this div will be pushed together. Okay, so let's say margin left. Okay, apply some pixels, 30 pixels. So both div and an image are going together. Now I can just go back and then erase everything right over here, auto. Make sense? So we can also remove this. So how can you comment things out? So you can come back and then work again. Just control right slash or like this to comment. Let's say this one and then this and then this one and this one. This just comments out. There is no effect of this particular line. Just gives you some reserved option so you can come back later and then work again. Awesome. This is how it looks like so far. And the next step is to design our kind of paragraph. Okay, so these are clickable, and then the images over here. Let's put here the name in the middle, right down. Okay, that right down in the middle. So that that text can be followed after image, let's say with the P, with the name of Bill Gates. So let's see how it looks like. It is also in the middle. So we can push to the right. And why it's on the left side, we will try to analyze. So how to analyze the location of the contents is always go with the applying border. And then from border, you will start analyzing. You will start understand, this is the border. It's on the left side. And this is this one. And then this is on the right side. So here, let's give some ID for this one, okay? And name. And then I'll just take this one and apply here border to look where my border looks like. 1 pixel, solid black again. See, this is my border, and then looks like my content is on the left side. So I can take it to the right. Okay, I can take it to the right just by applying some padding. So let's say padding left. Okay, padding left, and then some 10 pixels or 20. Yep, and then we can go even further, like 50 pixels. So now it's in the middle, and you can remove that border again. You see? How about if we just put here padding auto? Yeah, padding auto doesn't work for the paragraphs, but you can go the way we did earlier, padding left. Any questions? Okay, tell me guys, and how can I increase the size of this style? I mean the text. That is font
Size.
font size. Yep, font size. So, if you remember, what was rem? if I put here 1 rem, nothing changes. It's still 1 rem. And 1 rem means the default size of the paragraph texts or default size of HTML content texts. It is 16 pixels. But if you put here 2 rem, it makes twice bigger than default size. So it becomes 32 pixels. So if you put 3, it becomes 3 times bigger than the default size, which is 16 multiplied by 3. Okay, so if I want to go with a little bit larger, I can put here 1.2. Okay, little bigger, maybe 3, and so on. Okay, and how can I make it look bold, guys? Like larger and bold. What was the CSS property for that?
Font weight.
Font weight. So bold, and it is bold now. Okay, Bill Gates and then bold. Cool. I haven't showed one advanced like cool property of CSS. For example, when I hover, let this color change. Okay, so there is a property called A and then hover. So what would like to do when you hover? So I want to change the color. So it goes to from this default color to, let's say, pink. Okay, or not pink, tomato. Okay, otherwise it's still always the same. But when I hover, look at this. It shows me as if I'm highlighting and then my mouse is over there. And for this guy and for this one, you see the color is changing. That's called hover selector. So what color or what would you like to hover? You have to first decide, and then when you hover, what action you wanna or what kind of effect you wanna see. I wanna see the color is going from default to this color. Okay, let's see. Yep, kind of going back and forth. Okay. I can even say that, okay, when I highlight, let the size also increase, font size, okay, from regular to 1.2 rems. Okay, so look at this, little bit. It is in fact 20, right? Okay, so I can make it not rem. It is already 20, and this 1.2 rem is a little smaller than 20. So I can go here, just type 25 pixels to see the real difference. Look at this. Oops. Oh, yep. You see? Kind of I'm going back and forth. Awesome. Let's have a break and then we will continue. Okay. Looks better, kind of cart. Okay. And then we have these hoverable head sections navigation bars. Cool. Next step is to write over here some paragraph. Okay, down below this image container. So we can go out and then just go with the, let's say, another div that wraps the paragraph. So every time if you wrap with the div, that makes you, that gives you more controllable components. Okay, so paragraph, I can say Bill Gates is a, let's say, senior software engineer at, I can just write here at Microsoft. And then the rest is, let's say, Laura. Cool, this is how it looks like. And now div is occupying my entire width from left to right. But I wanna, you know, so it occupied only some certain space. So we can give him class. Let's say what? Bio section. And then we'll select it. Just go over here. So again, width. Now, if I apply here 80%, the parent is this already. this cart. And then 80% is the 80% of the parent, not this white, including this entire, this window. Only the 80% of this parent. Now save. Look at this. It's occupying only 80%, and then I can put little to the right just by applying margin. Okay, margin maybe left is okay. Some like 20 pixels. Looks okay, and we can even give this 90% and save. Yep, this is how the text looks like. And let's apply some larger size, font size, 1.3 rem. Cool. Now, within this text, I want to highlight some strings. For example, this Bill Gates, I want to make it, let's say, italic and then bold. So for that particular one, I can wrap this one with the, let's say, separate span. Look at this, and then take this Bill Gates into that span. Okay. But this span, it doesn't like affect on my end result, but this is wrapped somehow with HTML tag, so I can give ID, and then what I can do is actually I can give the class name. Okay, class, and then we have already no ID. So let's see how this ID looks like. Okay, no, we don't need ID, the name, but ID different. ID name on paragraph. Okay, name on paragraph, and then what we can do is just apply the italic and then bold styles. So what is how to make bold is you already familiar with. Font weight, bold, and then how can we make it italic? Do you guys remember? Font style and then italic, right? Now it is bold and then italic because we wrap it with span, and that particular span has ID, and based on that ID, we can manipulate however we want. Okay, so I can also go with this Microsoft as well with some more effects. Like I want to wrap with the A tag. So when you click this Microsoft, it redirects to that Microsoft's web page. So we can wrap this one with A tag. Over here, I can put this one. Look at this. Microsoft is now clickable. And also, you see, hoverable because of this effect. They are sharing the common selectors, the common properties. So I can go and hover it. Now, where we would like to redirect is, let's say, Microsoft.com. Maybe this website. So here, just attach this one. And what we can do is target blank to be able to navigate in different tab, right? Let's go and click. Now Microsoft is opened. Cool. You see, this one is clickable, and we can hover over, and this is kind of emphasized with the italic and then bold. And what else we can do? Let's give some color for special keywords. Like I can put here, say, full stack, and then put here coding. Okay, and then put here Python, and what else? Senior. Okay, these kind of keywords, let's give them some emphasize. Okay, so like colors or background colors. So for that one, I can go and then again wrap with span. Look at this. Where is that? Full stack. Okay, I can take it and then create span over here. And just put this. And then for coding, let's say again, another span. Control X and put over here. And then for the Python, let's say another span. Okay, it will not affect because it doesn't have any default padding margin. What happens, guys, if you wrap with the paragraph inside paragraph? For example, instead of span, if we go with the P, right? Let's say P, and then right here senior. Look at this. What happens with senior? Senior somehow distracts our order because it is inside a paragraph, and paragraph comes with some, comes with some default padding and the margins. So if you go and then check and default padding and margin of P tags. What is the default margin of P tag? The answer is in Chrome, it is 1M. Okay, still there are some default margins. So that's why it's not the best solution to wrap things with paragraph when you want to emphasize later on. Okay, just go with the span. So it won't destroy your entire design. Nothing will be affected. But on the other side, you can even give them some class names and play around them. Okay, so let's say class for all and like inner content. And then let's take these class names and then apply for the same spans. So if I take that inner content and then apply some CSS rules, all of them will be affected. And that's why the advantage of using class is over here. So what I would like to do is, let's say, background to go with the orange. Okay, orange, and then color with maybe dark red. And let's see how it looks like at least. Yep, you see these are the keywords. And then I can even give some padding from, I want to give padding from left and then right. Left and then right, 5 pixels, top, bottom, 0. How can I write in a shorthand way? Top, bottom, 0, left, right, 5 pixels.
0,5 pixels.
Yeah, 0,5 pixels just gives us, this is not 0, this is, oh, now it's okay. Yeah, you see nothing is affected, just some padding from this right and then left side of this span, and then no padding from top and bottom borders. Everything clear? Full stack, senior, coding, Python. So how can we highlight, right? By wrapping with span and then applying some ID or class name and then selecting them in your CSS, then you're good to go. Okay, cool. Senior, Python, full stack, so on. And this is hoverable, this is hoverable. It can redirect to some page. And next, let's look at the design, and we have second paragraph, something like really similar to that one. So we can copy and paste this one, Control C, Control V, put over here, but instead of paragraph, we can put something different. Now, for example, we can remove all of those stuffs and let's bring some more meaningful information. So let's say, what is Node.js? So for example, let me take this one and then, yep, save. Yep, as an async event-driven JavaScript runtime, Node is designed to build scalable network app in the following hello world and examples. So that's enough for the second paragraph. What we can do is, so let's apply some, what? So let me pick up here this Node.js keyword, okay, and then highlight something like this, but this time with the rounded border for Node.js and then JavaScript, okay? So let's apply span and do this one, and then same span and do this one. So we don't need this one. Nothing is affected. Everything is still same. But let's give another class name. Class, and it's gonna be let's say secondary. And take that class and apply for the next keyword. Cool. And using that selector, we have to go up and write it again another CSS rule. So this is secondary, right? And what I want to do is that maybe we can pick the same rules for the inner content, and maybe instead of, okay, padding, and as well as maybe border radius you can apply, okay, like 5 pixels, and put border 1 pixel dashed black. Let's see. Yes, in fact we have border with some radius and then dashed border. Okay, JavaScript Node.js. Cool. Coding, and then the padding is also same. We are using almost the same rules over here, but with one additional property, which is the border and the border radius. And let's see what is next. So let's list 3 columns and then put their skills. Okay, so how can we draw over here 3 columns so we will be able to write their skills? I have to create here 3 different divs, right? 1, 2, 3. So now I can go down and then create another div. So let's say this is my skills part. So this is skills, and let's give him class, and here again skills class. And always I do as a best practice is just go and then apply the first thing is to write the border, because this way you figure out where your element is located. One solid black, and then you can remove later on. Okay, but it gives you really good practice and then experience to work with all of those elements. So now I want to make that this border occupied only as many as the as large as this paragraph size. So let's see how big are the paragraph size, are the 90, okay? Because I want to make sure that my skill sets are also in the same line from left and right corners. So here width is 90 still. Look at this, okay? And then I can still give the same margin from left. Say, or not left, guys. Maybe we can put in the middle, because we don't like necessarily should make it start with from the same, but occupy same width, but in the middle. Margin, so auto. It's kind of in the middle, but looks like goes to the right. Now maybe we can make it 80%. Cool. Okay, inside this one, I have to create 3 different divs. Okay, look at this. I go and then create 3 more different divs. 1, and then another div, and then another div. So 3 different divs. So one of them is gonna be here. So I can remove the skills, and the next one gonna be in the middle. Third one is gonna be on the right. So let's say this is my left side skills, and then this is my middle skills, or let's say not left, technical skills. And then this is, let's say, soft skills, okay? And then these are my hobbies. Okay, I have to order them such that they are, centered, like, I mean, positioned like technical on the left, soft in the middle, hobbies on the right, okay? How can we do? Let's start with this applying border. Why they are on separate rows now, guys? Do you have any idea? So technical skills is on the top, and the next comes soft skills. Why soft skills not next to technical skills?
Because a div takes the entire container.
Entire width. It's occupying entire width, right? Cool.
Yes.
Class, okay. And then let's say skill sections, and we will give the same for all. Let's take this and go back and directly start applying the border. This way we can manipulate things later on. So 1 pixel solid black again. Cool. Now all the divs are occupying my entire width, but I don't want them to be occupied entire width. Let's say, so for this one, look at this. For this one, now it's occupying the 100% of its parent div. So parent div is this big box. And now this one is occupying 100% of that width, 100% of that width, 100% of that width. How can I can make that they occupied evenly, and then they are separated. I mean, they share the common space is by putting here like width 33%. So as a result, this one occupies 33%, this one 33, this one 33, and sum of is almost 100. Look at this, okay? And when I put next to each other them, it gives me such that they are equally occupying this parent div. Makes sense? Any questions? Cool. Now, there's a great tool that puts things next to each other. Is that the property is called display inline block. This makes just to occupy only the size that you are given. Okay, if we put here inline block, it occupies only the size that you are given. And then the rest of the size will be occupied with the next guy. The next guy is my soft skills. Okay, it's gonna be put my next to technical skills. And then since this is also inline block, hobbies comes to occupy the next place in the same row. Okay, see that? Yeah, I don't have enough space. Looks like with the because of the borders, so I can put here not 33 but 30. You see? Yeah, everything is now positioned next to each other because I literally changed the position. I mean the display of my divs from a block to inline block. It used to be block. If you just put here block, it again starts, occupying entire width. But if you put it back to inline block, it occupies only the available space that you, assign it. So I assign it only 30%. Then next space is someone who is coming after me. Does that make sense? Let me know if you want me to explain again, okay? And yeah, look at this. They really look good. And what I can do is, when I remove this parent skill, just shows me as if they are in the center. Okay, and then I can just go inside those divs, just put here UL to list my whatever you call, let's say technical skills. Okay, so here let's have very small p, calling here technical skills.
Can I ask a question, please?
Of course.
Can you please repeat how did this technical soft skills and hobbies come in the center? I understood that it is inline and it's with this 30%, but how can we adjust the spacing between and how can we bring it in the center?
Okay, so look at this again. I'll take things back. Look at this. Actually, forget about this. Is everything clear up to this point? So
Yes.
These are occupying only 30%, and then the display property is block, means that no one can stay after me on the same row, even though I am occupying like the beginning part of the row, and the rest of the row is still empty, but no one can occupy. So the default display of div behaves like that. Okay, even though I occupy only this much space, and then I have, this much free space, no one can stay next to me when you use the div. But if you apply display and then inline block, what you make is you force display block to inline block. Okay, as a result, so divs become, okay, now if I have space, someone can stay after me. If I have space, someone can take a place after me. That's what the inline block makes. Look at this. Now, as long as we have space, anyone can come after me. That's located down here. Make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. And then for these technical skills, since we decided we go with the technical, let's write here technical, technical, and for here we can write maybe just simple header like skills. Okay, and then we will take it right later on. Now we have technical paragraph, somehow applied some padding, and here we can put UL, writing here li, say that Python, okay, and the next one is say that Java, okay, and let's say JavaScript, and then let's say machine learning, and then one more, let's say, senior front end developer. Okay, so these are our technical skills so far for the left hand side, and then same way we can go for the soft skills. Okay, P and soft and UL again. Let's say LI and leadership and LI. What else? Let's say um, um, philanthropistic, let's say philanthropistic, and let's say what else? Communicable, and another one is I don't know, maybe team player, and then one more great conflict resolver. Okay, something like that. Cool. Next one, what we can do is for the hobbies, one last time, P hobbies, and then maybe we can limit with a couple of them. Just you can go with the ordered list, not all the time unordered. So one is let's say just walking. Second one is swimming. Second one is, let's say, meditation, and one more let's say reading. Okay, cool. And how can we fix the sizes? So we can go and then give the equal size of height for them rather than not they look them randomly. So here height is somehow around, let's say, 120 pixels. If it's not enough, we will give more, 80 pixels. That makes them equal. But what is making us odd here, it looks kind of odd. What is this? H4. So under the skills, I want to go to H4 and remove its padding and then margin under the skills. So I have to first select that skills. And then from there, I can go jump into H4, okay, and apply margin 0 and then padding 0, because some default margin padding could be coming. Okay, you see, skills now removed, and then also default padding margin from all that is inside these skill sections. So I will select skill sections and jump into paragraphs. Not all paragraphs that's located in my page, but only paragraphs inside skill sections, and apply the same, this 0 padding and margin for them. You see somehow they are at the top. Now still it looks like a little bit weird, even though the height is same, and we can also apply for UL as well. Okay, remove all of those. ELI, no. So let's try to analyze why they look like odd. Okay, have to go a little down. This one, and particularly this one. So this is the content, padding, border, margin. And how about this padding and border? This is the margin, equal size it. And what is making it go down? What makes
The
it go down?
number of hobbies you put is less than
That's okay,
the number
but
of the,
yeah,
and also
it's-
one with the numbers on unordered and ordered list. Maybe.
yeah, that's okay. Still okay. Yeah, we intentionally did that one. Yeah, we can still put here only one hobby, but I just preferred with 4. Let's see again, and skill sections. P's are 0. Let me apply some padding for them. Padding like 5 pixels. Okay, to move to the from different sides. I didn't like this weird, odd looking. Well, we can also you see
Can you
padding.
try adding one hobby and see if it moves up?
Yeah, it's still looks like not a solution. You see, it goes up. If I remove this, becomes equal. But about if I have only 2 hobbies and then still want to keep with the same level? You see, that's what I'm trying to.
Maybe the box size should
No, everything is okay.
should be dynamic, not fixed. So if it's less items in the box, it doesn't take up same space.
That's okay. But yeah, that's what I want is to keep them in same size card. Otherwise, if
It is trying to get the text at the center.
so if otherwise if I have, let's say, 10 technical skills, my card goes to way higher than if I have only one hobby, which is really tall. Okay.
All right.
So that's why I
Right.
want to keep them the same height. And P, maybe OL. Now. Okay, so parent div, let's just check the parent div, how it looks like. It has margin from right, left, nothing from only right, left. And then child div, this one, padding 5, and then border, that's it. And then padding 5. Maybe something like this, not 30, but like 28. Oh, no, this just decreases the width. Let me close this site. Still looks odd. Okay, let's try to keep analyzing over here. So this is our border box model, and these are the contents. And inside this one, we have header, which occupies only this one. You see, highlighted blue, nothing more, no margin, no padding. For this one, content is blue, 5 paddings, and no margin, nothing. Okay, and then for this guy, contents, padding, and then this is the border pixel, and nothing from top, nothing from bottom. This is really interesting. Okay, one
Can you
more thing,
please
maybe.
expand the skills section and see what other
Skills.
under the skills sections, if there is more
Okay, so
CSS?
for the skills, we don't have anything. You see content, padding, and then margin from right, left. And for this one also, this is
For the
H4.
skill sections, for the skill sections, for the third skill sections, below hobby.
Okay, let's see. That's what is inside, everything inside this one. That's everything, whatever is put. See? "16 pixels from top, that's the content. This is the hobbies. Content, nothing, no border, no, I mean, no padding, no margin. That is weird. You can solve maybe something like this. How about go on. Keep goes down. Goes up. Interesting word. Okay, how about just span hobbies? And somehow it's pushing. And really interesting. Never experienced. Can we solve something?
Should we just try to save and open the file again?
Well, yeah, we can try, but nothing. I don't think something changed. I think this is what we are working. Yep, so same. And show this is my index. No, not this file. Should be this file. Open with VS Code. Okay, I bet that is not actually a difficult problem. Let's debug it. Okay. This is odd. Doesn't look good. There's a skill sections. Okay, skills. We have this space. Even going a little outside of the page, so we can give not 100 VH, maybe 150 VH. Nice server. Open a folder. What's it? What do you mean?
Can we try using the vertical align top property?
Yeah, we can try different things, but trying to fix whatever we learned so far. Okay. So there may be, there may be, grid system, bootstrap system, like flex system, but just trying to make things as simple as possible. Okay. So otherwise, what would I prefer is, let's say, it's not rendering, right? It's not, what's going on? Oh, it didn't even open. Got it. So I have to open this one more time. it works. Yeah, where is my live server? Here, I don't want this. Let's see now. Yeah, now this 150 VH, and then how about if I remove this? Okay, everything looks this way, and some more skills over here. P, oops. What is that? Hobbies, right? And then li x. Let's see. Is not the answer we are looking for. So skill sections, which is solid black, all of those, and then width and display inline block. Inline block. Then it becomes next to each other. What I would do is display flex would solve my solution, my problem. You see, and then just removing these skills from here to top would solve my problem. But this is not what I'm trying to teach you at this point. So if I just give here a margin like 2 pixels, it looks really cool. You see, and I can even easily push it to the right. But without this flex, which we haven't covered, okay, this flex we haven't covered.
No, I think the vertical align is for the inline blocks, and I think by default it is middle. So
Okay, we can try that one. So no worries about this flex. Yeah, otherwise this flex is a really great tool for CSS. This gives you a handful of opportunities to work with the elements, so you can make them, you can easily control them. But without this one, look at this. What are we trying to do? We are kind of struggling. You see, they look odd. Okay, so let's say vertical align for this one, middle. Then that one solves, right? Awesome. Yep. Let's go with that one then. Save. Cool. And we don't even need that 150 VH. Maybe 110 is, or even 100 is enough. Perfect. Yeah, I just generally, during the development or during the production, most of the time I use Flex. That's a great another, vast CSS feature it contains. It's like grid system in CSS. So Flex in CSS is another big topic. That's why I didn't want to confuse you. See, display flex. It makes your work really flexible and makes your elements controllable. Is it okay now, at least? So I lie, you can say reading and walking in meditation, and let's say chatting. Okay, cool. And we can make this look a little bit impressive rather than those lines. Can make them border radius like 20 pixels, and then box shadow again 0, 0, 10 pixels, gray. In the background we can give just white. You see? Cool. And look at the code. Look at the code, guys. This is our CSS part, and then I can show the HTML part as well over here. So let me even put little. Yeah, this is our HTML part. This is our CSS part. Look at this, and then look at the results on the right. Okay, we'll continue after 15 minutes. Okay, how did you find, guys, the CSS HTML? Looks like not that difficult, right? As I mentioned at the beginning, it is in fact not difficult. Just a set of logics you have to follow. Great, and so let me share the code with you also. How can I share, guys, this one? If you're in the Slack channel, just Slack me. I can share also. Okay. Or can take everything.
We all are on the Slack. We have in-class chat there. Maybe we can share there.
Got it. Yeah, just if you can Slack me, one of you, and so you all can, guys, also share with each other. Let me try.
Hi, Kanibek. This is Joshua.
Yeah, hi.
Sorry for interrupt, but I would like to remind to all our friends that I share a survey in class chat, and please take a little bit time to fill out this survey to take feedbacks from all our friends, all our students. Thanks. Again.
Got it. Okay, yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, just Slack me, guys. I can share this code with you as well. Give me seconds. Awesome. And what we can do next? Let me close this right part. And so as we mentioned earlier, guys, we can apply CSS in 3 different ways, right? Internal, inline, and then external. So here we are practicing internal approach. In fact, we can also try one inline over here. Let's say this leadership is, let's say, it's gonna be style using keyword, and we can say that color is red. Just so whatever the color used to be earlier, all written by this piece of code now. If the color was, let's say, black or whatever it used to be, now it will be overwritten. But since we didn't have any color earlier, we may not see the real change. But anyway, so bear in mind that, always remember, the inline is the highest priority CSS specificity rule after important keyword. Okay, and then comes ID, then class, and finally the tag name. So we practiced almost all types of selectors here. So by class, by tag name, by ID name, and then what else? Even we went with the descendants, if you remember, like selecting particular class name and then jumping into elements located under that particular class and so on. And then also we experienced over here inline as well. Okay. But if you still want to go like lib white, so let's say here you just take tag name and then color white, and then right here important. That way it overrides everything. Even though it is inline, this will win anyway. Okay, see that? everyone is in white. Okay, let's say the not white, black, not black even, blue. Everything is in blue, but for this particular leadership LI, it is actually red, but somehow this also lost the battle between this inline and an important keyword. Okay, this is how we can practice and gain all of those concepts. Actually, we are in good shape, guys. We learned a lot of things. We covered great possible interview questions as well, as you remember yesterday. You guys remember? Did you try at home and then look at the market or look at the interview questions so you can answer? I hope you try it, but if you just Google and then try to read some possible interview questions, you are already able to answer them. Any questions based on this industry experience, based on this HTML, CSS, whatever you want to clarify, just ask me, guys. I would be really happy to, share and help you. Cool. So now what we can do is put here some footer. Inside that footer, we can put, our contacts and so on. And let's continue. You see, can you see, guys, my screen, right? When my VS Code? Is my VS Code visible?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I just wondering if it's like yesterday, I was talking without showing anything. Perfect. Now, how can we add kind of footer over here? Let's look at this ESPN as a reference. What do they have? Maybe not ESPN. You see, it keeps uploading as you scroll down. That's called also, lazy load or like scroll-based loading. This way, the page performance improved rather than loading everything at once. Keep the loader to spin around and then show later on after 5-10 seconds. That makes the applications boring. That's why people come up with this idea called lazy load. As you scroll, the data will be loaded. Otherwise, you see only the first 100 VH available content for that page. Okay, that's also another great feature for building applications. So let's see if we do have something. Yeah, something like this. What I was looking is like kind of black footer down below. Okay. And let's go apply for our code inside this cart. So here I can put and then give a class name of footer. So I always say that please put meaningful class names, ID names. Okay, if it's like something related to footer, okay, footer, something related with the let's say information about contacts, okay, contacts, something related with the hobbies, put with hobbies and so on. Okay, so that this way your code becomes readable and maintainable later on if someone tries to fix the box. And footer, so what we try to do is I want something like this. So 2 parts, left part and then right part. This left part is something with some inputs like email and submit button. And then the right side is with some bullet points again. So we just need to go again with 2 divs, okay, that we did for the previous one. And this is my, again, left and this is my right. And for the footer, I can go up and then start with the same approach. Look at this. I can grab this so-called skills, properties. But let me go one by one then. So border 1 pixel solid black. Let's see how it looks like. So here, left and then right. So we can give some margin from top to separate from our skills. Okay, let's give margin top, like 10 pixels. So this way we separate. And then what we can do is to align this left and the right next to each other. Otherwise, if you look at it carefully, the left is occupying entire width, and then so the right is also. Now I'll give same class names for them, maybe, okay, like this class, inner footer, and then same class for the right as well. And pick that class as a selector, inner footer, and what I do is display inline block, right? Inline over here. Yep. Then it becomes available. So the space, as the space is available, I can put the next element on next to me. I mean, I can put next element wherever I have available space on the same row, rather than always sending them to down. Okay. And what else we can do? So inner footer, and so let's give him ID, because we will be treating a little bit differently for inner foot, this left one, and then for the right one, okay? So in this case, we can give ID with the same name, but we will be select as if it is an ID, okay? We will treat like we are selecting ID, not the way we select the class now. So I want it to occupy around like 60% of the parent width. And what else? Let's say border, not radius. 1 pixel solid red. Let me see how it looks like. Yeah, it's now occupying me like around is 60%, something like this. Okay, left side, and then my right side. And for the right side, okay, now whatever we have left is gonna be for the right. And for the left, let me put things like input. So this input is, guys, is an element where you can type text, okay? And then from the input text, based on the logic that in the future you will be implementing with JavaScript or React, so you can take those values as you type, okay? But now at least looks something like that. So look at this. So you can type something and so on, okay? Type, I can even put here email. And then, yeah, look at this. It is for email, like so email.gmail.com, so on. And then next to input, I can put maybe button. Look at this, a button, and let's say submit. Okay, so I have submit button as well. Now let me give height, and then finish this footer by applying some more CSS rules. So for the right, what I would like to do is let me put here UL and li, so you can say that people can contact us with the, with some social media tools, contact us. So once we learn, let's say in the future, the icons, of course, we will implement very cool features, including the alls, like awesome fonts, awesome icons, and so on. But I just want to go now, like something like that, Facebook, and then Twitter, and then what else? Let's say Instagram, and whatever you are available on, you can just list here YouTube and one more, maybe LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn. Okay, these are the contact options that we can apply. And also, what if I remove this guy? So if I remove this one, it stretches all the way down as the space goes, like keeps growing. Okay, rather than fixing my height, I can leave it empty, or I can leave it flexible. So the height grows as the content also gets more and more. So this way I don't need this VH height, and as a result, this background still wraps my footer. So yeah, and then for this inner content, inner footer, this is left side. What I can do is put some more items. So this is submit button, and then let's say inside a div, what can we do? What we have is put one kind of a logo. Okay, so let's grab kind of logo, a logo of what? Not sure, maybe Microsoft logo. Okay, so let's see if it's possible. It is, looks like. Let's grab this one quickly and then put over here as a logo. So now I can put image, and then this is my logo. See, maybe it is, you see, small. Why? Because image tag is already selected, and then we applied already CSS rules for image, and then wherever we see image, will be affected with the same CSS property and values. Okay, property width and the value, border radius, and so on. But we can only like go with this particular logo in different way, either by giving class or ID, or either maybe selecting like the descendant property. Okay, so let's go with the ID and like footer image. Okay, and this is Microsoft. So footer image, save, and I'll go here and apply different logic. Maybe partial the same still, but not border radius. Okay, not border radius, not border, just width is enough, I think. Okay, footer image and width. I think footer image is something not correct. ID footer image. Get effect form, and then footer image ID. Okay, footer image. How about if I give this one to this guy and then descent by this? Should work. Is there something going on? Not sure. Where is this? Have to run again, kinda confusing. Don't want this one, leave page. Don't want this one. Okay, footer image is for this, and then jumping into IMG. Jumping into IMG. Do we have some more properties? We don't. This is ID. Footer. Inner footer. Okay, one more time. Control C. Okay, select that ID and then give here. Interesting. It's not obeying. How this image looks like. This is what it is. Okay, what if I remove this? Okay, what if I put back? Image. This is element. This is ID. Still don't look like to listen. Interesting. So how about this ID? This bill, okay? And then instead of this image, I'll go with ID bill. Now it looks like, okay, yeah. So bill ID and then footer image ID. So, okay, somehow we solve it. And let's move this image top of this input and buttons so they looked a little different. And if you want to put this next to image, okay, still possible. We have to apply some more inline block rules, okay, but this point don't want to like mess things up. So let me work with the footer, which is the parent of all those stuffs. Okay, this black line is the parent of all those footers. So let me play around. What is that footer is here? I don't want this anymore, the border, but I want the kind of background, which is black. I prefer, and then color to go with the white. Okay, everything in white, and this looks blue. So let's make it important. So, but still this, you know, that li is coming from blue somewhere else. What is that? This is, right? This is what it's making me blue. So let me remove that. And now everything is in black and white. And let me remove this green, I mean the red line also. What else we can do is we can push these things to the little bit to the right. Okay, where is that coming from? Is inner footer, right? And then like margin left 20 pixels, let's say. Yeah, we somehow managed to push to the right, and then we have this kind of submit, and then you know, these elements as well. So we can play around this submit button as well. So input and then button, border none, outline. Well, let's see how it looks like. Don't remember. Okay, but border at least this way. Yeah, no border. Okay, and also outline should work. None. Yeah. Even though when you put your cursor, there is no like default borders that bothers you. Okay, so this is submittable. And for the button, we can also go a little bit cooler. So like, again, background for the button, like greenish, and then color with the pinkish. See. Yeah, but didn't like that pink. Maybe what looks better? Not sure. Yes, at least. And then we can give padding for that button, like 10 pixel, and for the input as well. Input padding. Okay, padding 10 pixel. So another cool thing is for input is you can apply some default text over here. It's called, if you have experience, it's called placeholder. Okay, placeholder. So you can put here, enter your email. Okay, it always displays over there something like this text. Enter your email and then submit. See? And we can highlight this when we hover. If you remember, we did up there. So button dot hover. So we can change the color, background color to something like this, and then color to black. Even the size, font size goes a little bigger, 1.2 rem. Okay, when we hover, look at this. Yep. I don't want this font style to go and say, just somehow mess up my size, but this is enough. Yep. And also when you hover, make your pointer cursor to be pointer. Okay, when you hover. Yep, now it's clickable. Awesome, this is our footer, and we can give some padding from top. Okay, not to stick everything at the top of the line. Where is that? Footer is over here, like padding from top bottom 10 pixels and then right left 0 pixels. Great. See, contact us, and then this bio is ready. Any questions? What would you like me to do, guys, to show you?
I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
It might be out of context, but I was thinking, like, can we make the links, for example, for the image source we put and get it from somewhere on web? It's sometimes too long and it messes the codes and it's hard to find when you're coding. Can we make it tiny URL or something to shorten the link we're getting as a source? Or how we can make the links clean and small and simple?
Which one? You mean list?
When we use any outside source as a like image address,
okay.
image link, or any web page link. And when we use that in our code, it's sometimes so long and confusing, and it's not like clean like you did here. Sometimes like a couple of rows.
Oh yeah, that is what it is. It is what you get from the from the cloud, from from the resources. That's what it is. We cannot do anything.
We cannot do. We
no,
can't use tiny URL or something like the link shorten.
If original link is, let's say, 2 rows length, that is what it is. That's how they designed that particular URL. Based on that URL, you can only get that information. Otherwise, no, we cannot shorten them.
Okay.
Yeah, if you just remove one letter, it goes error.
No, I know. Yeah. But like, can we use another application or tool to shorten the link and use that one?
No, that's called actual this kind of URL. Think about it. This is a like API, and this API has set of logic behind the scenes. And then if you just change things around, so you will lose that logic behind it. That's why, no, this is how it designed it. We cannot, change it. This is how we are provided with. Okay. Yeah, I know there sometimes the
it's
image,
like tiny URL or like
But yeah, this is how you can use. But of course, you can put this, if it's, let's say, too long, you can keep some somewhere in different file. Of course, you can use some other logic. Let's say URLs JS. So you will save over here like something variable my URL, and then it holds all of those bunch of long URL, right? For this, let's say for this one. Say that this takes at least like couple of rows. So this is one image, right? And you don't want to use inside your HTML. And so you can put over here and you can export. And so you can import here at the top of your page. And then right here only its variable name instead of writing all of those tabs. Okay. So yeah, when you start, just you will write the variable name. Let's say my URL. Okay. You're going to write here something like my URL. Okay. So think about it, something like that. Okay. But that would be possible when you start learning like JavaScript and so on.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. This way it looks way cleaner. I think, yeah, this is how you can export and then import in different files. Yep.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yep. Great question. So you see, guys, we have covered a bunch of concepts. Let's go and then maybe looks when it's a little bit extended screen, it looks still stretched. Maybe we can somehow limit its width with the smaller percentage, like maybe 60. Okay, this way it doesn't look really stretched. Yeah. Skills and so on, Microsoft contacts. And there are a bunch of topics. For example, as you scroll, you can still keep this, nav bar at the top using different positioning properties like sticky and then top attached and so on. But we haven't covered them. Hopefully, you will learn very soon in the future. And something like this. In many web pages, you see, let's see this ESPN. Yeah, you see, ESPN is over here. And then as I scroll, it goes up, it goes up, goes out. The moment it touched my top window, it stays over there. That's called sticky nav bar. It is sticky, it's always there. So we can also do something like that later in the future, hopefully. So you scroll and then it hits the top window and then stays over there, even though you scroll all the way like 10 pages down. Okay. That's what makes another feature for CSS and then HTML property. So let's see how HTML interview questions look like. HTML interview questions. So just like for the warm up, you may be asked, tell me about HTML. What do you know about HTML? Okay, so you can describe with a couple of sentences. HTML is a hypertext markup language. In fact, it's a programming language, so you can, architect your web page in an abstract view. You can think as if it's a skeleton of your page without any spirit, without any soul, without any actions. And so you can, interact with other programming languages like JavaScript, CSS, so on, later on to build interactive, attractive web applications. And yeah, if you read like maybe one Medium article, so Medium is a great place for reading tech articles, for example. So you can, subscribe and keep reading daily posts. So you can select some maybe like interested topics. So you will be always pumped with that interested. I mean, the topics that you selected. Okay, and so you can search for what is HTML and what is CSS. Also, one article would be enough to read about HTML, everything regarding HTML. You see how to make your responsive, and so on. These are the great place to read articles. So this way you keep yourself up to date. And during the interviews, the interviewer also may try to ask, how do you stay up to date? How do you keep yourself up to date? You say, okay, I read every day, articles. I try different features, different new features of the technologies, and so on. This way, I keep myself up to date and so on. Okay, so that's that would be great answer for HTML. If you read one article, and then are the HTML tags and elements the same thing? Actually, yeah, for simplicity, I used all the time element and the tag. Okay, but the HTML elements are defined by starting tag. In fact, okay. So it may contain content and then closing tag and so on. But tag is just this one. But the element is something that contains tag as well as the content. Okay. And what are the attributes? For example, attributes of the image. Okay, so Alt and then SRC. These are the almost mandatory, compulsory attributes for image. For the A tag, anchor tag, the href. Okay, that's the attribute for A tag. It's let's see, where's my A tag? It's somewhere. Should be here, or is that a yeah, a href. Okay, this is attribute for A tag, and then target also attribute for A tag, and what else? SRC, Alt. Yeah. What are void elements? We haven't covered. What is the advantage of collapsing white space? What are HTML entities? So for this one, so for example, how we can put this angle bracket. If you put this one, HTML doesn't understand. What are you doing? So let's say here, put angle bracket. Okay, it's kind of damaging. I mean, distracting the HTML here architecture design. So for this one, angle bracket, we have particular entities. So for this one, for example, or in numbers, this is okay. For and operator, yeah, we have to write this one or either this way. What are different types of lists? We have covered ordered and then unordered. But what is class attribute in HTML? So it can be common. So you can give classes for as many as you wish for the HTML tags elements. Okay, but IDs should be unique. Every element should have their own ID. The class attribute is used to specify a class name for HTML. Multiple elements can have the same class value. Exactly. What is the difference between ID and then class? You see what we have been talking so far. And define multiple from we haven't covered. HTML layout structure. Yeah, this is the way how we actually make our HTML semantic. And so we have to start with header, then footer. If there is a nav bar, we have to wrap with nav. If there is something with article, we have to wrap with article, tag name, and then the section, aside, so on. These are the layout structures. Yeah, this is a great question, actually. How to optimize assets loading. I already mentioned one of them, lazy load. That's also, of course, advanced, used in frameworks like in maybe jQuery and React to apply those lazy loads that I showed for this ESPN, right? As you scroll and the page keep pumping you more data. And that's one way how you improve your web page. But here we have, simpler answers. You see CDN hosting and file compression. So for example, instead of using 200 images in 200 different places, there is a called element called sprite. Okay, so you want to share, let's say, the logos, right? Logos of 20 sponsors. Are you gonna put 20 logos in different places? No, you will take all those 20 logos and then put inside sprite and then just display as a sprite. So that sprite contains all those 20 logos. Okay, otherwise you will have to create 20 images differently and then attach logos. This is called one of the file compressions and minifying scripts. But yeah, lazy loading. See, is already over here as an answer. Various formatting tags, text bold. Yeah, we can also use B to make text bold. For example, write down, I can put here, let's say this guy, right? You can put here B and then put things inside this B. So this becomes bold. Let's see. Yep, this is already bold. Okay. But this is not the semantic way. And nowadays people use strong. This is semantic. And then I think this is the feature of HTML5. Strong is also still same. Okay. And for the italic, if I don't confuse, I think emphasize. Let's see. Yeah, for the italic, emphasize, EM. Cool, and we have other formatting tags. What are different kinds of doc types? Strict doc type. Let's see what are we typing over here. Doc type. We are writing HTML and then lang, meta, and so on. We haven't covered this one as well. Please explain how to indicate the character set being. The character set is defined over here, meta, and then character set UTF-8. Difference between strong and then B, yes. The effect on a normal web page of the tag strong B and an M is the same. B and I tag stands for the bold and italic, okay. These two tags, yeah, earlier people were using also this one, I, for italic. Let's say if you want to make it italic, yeah, you can still use I. Look at this, and then just take the content and put inside. Still becomes italic. Look at this, the Python. But I also is used for icons. That's why it's kind of conflicting in latest semantic HTML. No one uses this I almost, okay? This M is a better option. I is for icons, guys, okay? And what is the significance of head and the body? Of course, you already know. Our cell padding, we haven't covered on the table. Change an inline element in block level element. Of course, we already experienced it. And the what ways we can positions, we haven't covered. Ways can display elements in line, block. You see, we have already mentioned this inline and then block inline. So we have this flex, this grid that I earlier showed you how we can easily solve things when elements are messed up with just this flex. Okay, hopefully you will learn. And below are some display, okay, and so on. How to specify link in HTML. Target attribute like blank. Yeah, we can use blank. And how many ways specify style format? Yeah, inline, internal, external again. In how many ways we can use CSS? Okay. And yeah, guys, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this mini bootcamp. I wish.
Can you copy this in CodePen and share with us if it's possible through chat, and we can go over it again?
Of course, yeah, that's what I want. So you said that you have a Slack group, right? Has someone?
Yeah, that one or CodePen, which one is work for you? You know, and share this.
Okay, let me
like
let me share on CodePen, so you can take from CodePen and then maybe put in your VS Code later on.
Yes.
Because in CodePen directly now it doesn't look like really good. And not this Code Sandbox, but CodePen. Yeah, thanks for reminding. Let me take everything from here, save, and then put over here. Yeah, you should be okay now. Just take this link, guys, and fork it so it becomes yours.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Hope you enjoyed these sections, and then wish you productive, fruitful next steps. Okay, and then feel free to ask me any questions. So would be glad to help you guys. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yep. Goodbye.